Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Days of Thunder 3. We're capping the trilogy with a reconfigured deck that takes advantage of not an artifact, but an enchantment. We're still coming in hot with our factory outlet and some synthesizer staples to help turn out the Robot Overlords. We still have the freaky doll, and that's one of the artifacts we have that we're looking to duplicate. Creating even just a small squad of the Pactdoll Terror can quickly end a game in our favor. Let's get in there. We're playing the full set of 3 steps ahead, the utility card that's a staple in any synthesizer list. With it we can do 3 things, each of which is very useful. We can counter any spell, copy an artifact or creature we control, and use it to dig through our deck by drawing 2 cards and tossing 1. The mode we definitely look to use is the copy ability, as that gives us a token copy of an artifact that we can then duplicate with a helm. Consult the Star Charts is another card we can use to dig through our deck to help find the right pieces. While it might not be so great early, once we have 4 mana or more, it does a fantastic job at getting us cards and turning through our deck. Negate is a fantastic counterspell that we're using to shore up one of the weaknesses of a synthesizer deck. That being our vulnerability to cards that destroy artifacts, which the Negate can deal with for only 2 mana. This will also cancel out any sweepers that take out only men if we're on the verge of winning the game. Opposing planeswalkers can also be sniped right out of the air before they make it down on board to become a problem. Wreckage Wickerfolk is our first artifact that's been in the previous versions. When it enters, it will give us a Surveil 2. Coming down early, it can help us find additional lands or even our key card. Its stats make it a decent blocker against the majority of early men, and with flying, we can use it as an attacker if enemy men are not threatening our life total. Moonlit Meditation is the enchantment that we're looking to take advantage of by enchanting our synthesizer or a Pactdoll Terror. Getting multiples of those artifacts can lead to board states that will take down the opponent very quickly. Enchanting a factory gives us a fresh factory outlet the first time we generate a token every turn. A pile of factories very easily generates an army of Robot Overlords, which will easily overrun enemy defenders. The synthesizer is our key card. We aim to get 1 in play as early as possible, then copy it or play out more artifacts to generate our Robot Overlords. The more artifacts, the better, as that will boost the stats of our Robot Overlords. To help our cause, the factory even gives us a Scry 2, which can be helpful in finding other artifacts to continue building our robot army. The helm is the perfect companion to the synthesizer. When we generate an artifact token, the helm will also generate a map token along with it. The map tokens are huge, as we can generate a pile of them and boost the stats of our Robot Overlords. The helm can also be activated to create a token copy of any token artifact we control. Preferably, we'd be making copies of token synthesizers or token Pactdoll Terrors. Pactdoll Terror is the wheeled horror that will take down life totals without us having to attack. When it enters play, it drains the opponent for 1, and we get additional drains whenever another artifact enters play on our side. Having 1 in play can be huge, but if we are to make additional copies of it, it easily snowballs into more drain than the opponent has life. Haunt the Network is sorcery that gives us additional draining power. We'll get a pair of tokens that will count towards the drain, then we hit the opponent for a drain equal to the number of artifacts we have in play. That could easily be anywhere from 6 on up, and while it might not kill instantly, if we keep playing out artifacts or making copies, it will take down any life total no matter how big. Demonic Junker is our removal. It is an artifact and will generate Robot Overlords with a factory in play. And because it is an artifact, we can also make token copies of it if the opportunity presents itself and the opponent is playing a deck that is heavy with men. It does have a heavy price tag of 7 mana, but it has affinity for artifacts which could reduce the cost down to just 1 black mana if we have enough artifacts in play. Cheap, easy removal that also builds our board. Yes, please. For lands, we're playing 3 Fountain Port, the special land that we can use to generate tokens or sacrifice a token for draw. 4 Undercity Sewers, the Dimir Surveil land. 4 Gloom Lake Verge, the island that becomes a duel when we have an island or swamp in play. 6 Swamp. 1 Uthros, Titanic God Core, the special land that will generate a mana for every artifact we control, but only after we station 12 power worth of men. And 6 Islands. Playing the deck tends to be rather straightforward. The goal is to get either a factory or a Pactdoll Terror on board, then make copies of it to either build an army of Robot Overlords, or take down the opponent's life total with enough drain to take down 2 opponents. The Wickerfolk is still useful in helping us find cards we need, whether they be more lands early or additional artifacts late in the game. Work towards building a board throughout the game, and use our counters to stop the opponent's plays that might damage our ability to take down their life total. Attack when we can get in hits, and use removal carefully as we have a limited number. A haunt, the network can end up being big enough to end the game, so look to use it effectively when the time is right. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Scarface. Say hello to my little friend. No wait, it's Scarlace, not Face. We're kicking things off with a 3-lander. We've got a factory as well as a 3 steps ahead to make an instant synthesizer. Keep your pants on. They play out an authority, a strong enchantment that can buy them time as well as make it difficult for us to block their men. We draw a 4th land, which is good. We'll need it to make an instant synthesizer. Our surveil land shows us a negate on top. We'll keep it. We draw a 2nd factory, and this is the turn we play 1 out. On top, we have a pair of lands, but we'll ship them both on down. This is the time we need more ammo. Turn 4 and they don't have any plays? Are they holding nothing but removals? We'll play out our 4th land, and this turn we'll go for an instant synthesizer. Your go, my bro. Once again, they go without plays. Let's make a copy of our factory, and we can double production. We're taking orders, bro. How many Robot Overlords do you want? On top, we have a Junker and another 3 steps ahead. I do like both, and we'll keep them in that order. At 5 mana, we have enough to be able to drop our 2nd factory and have mana for our counter if they try to destroy what we've built. They hit our first Robot Overlord with a Get Lost, but that gets us a pair of map tokens, which only makes our follow-up AI men bigger. On top, we have a land under the Junker. We're very much doing fine on mana, so we'll send it on down. Why would we split up when our board looks solid? Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. Removal. Deck sees their way out. GG's, extra Robot Overlord cheese. This is Jeans and Flannel. Finally a name that makes sense. Keep those pants on, bro. We get a Shuffler special with a Consult and a Wickerfolk. Those should be able to find us more lands, and from there we can put up a fight with a removal, a utility card, and a Haunt the Network. Keep your pants on. Another 1st turn authority. It's good, but it shouldn't be in every deck playing white. They play out a Builder's Talent. They'll get a decent-sized blocker, but that's all it will do. We draw a 3rd land, so the Wickerfolk should help us find some weapons. On top, we have a pair of lands. We do need more lands, but do we need both? We will want to get to 5 mana, and we will have that if we keep them. Let's keep both, and we can stop worrying about our mana situation. I find it difficult to believe they have only a builder's talent and have nothing else to follow up with. What does their deck even do? Let's fire off our consult and see what we can dig up. They hit our consult with a No More Lies. It's unfortunate, but we're not unfamiliar with fighting control. Our Surveil land shows us a Helm on top. It's not that great without a factory on board, but we can use it to make more copies of treasure tokens. They play out a Rest in Peace. If it was such a big deal to us, we'd counter it, but this is something we're not going to be concerned about. With a builder's talent in play, they're not going to be able to get anything back from the grave. Oopsie poopsie, bro. We've got the mana to generate a sushi, but with their wall it won't break through for damages, which is what we'd want. Let's pass. We'll go with our Helm, and we'll be able to use it to generate treasures for cheap. Why would we copy treasures? Those are great against taxing counters, like No More Lies. They hit our Helm with another counter. It's unfortunate, but the Helm is not a key card. It would have been nice to have, though. Once again, they do nothing during their turn. We'll go ahead and make a treasure. Eventually, we'll be able to build enough that a haunt the network could hit them for a significant amount. Let me guess, they're going to do nothing. Well, that's fine. We'll make another treasure. We draw a terror and we'll want to get it in play, but let's build up our treasures first. For now, we'll keep getting in for a damage and take their life total down one by one. They go for draw with a regent, but we want to see them struggle along with what they have in hand. Negative, bro. You fight with what you got. They hit our Wickerfolk with a Get Lost. On the one hand, I want to counter it. On the other, I'm glad we held on to our terror. It is possible they have more removals, and using a counter might get them to use another, but we can also use our counters to make copies of our terror. We'll let them have their removal. They warp in a Riddler. That's something worth countering, but once again, we want to use our counters as a way to copy our kill card. I think it's time we tried our terror. We've got mana to make a token copy, or for a counter if we need it. No removal, it's just a Frost Cliff Siege. That could let their Riddler attack when it lands, or they might go for the card draw option. Their deck is so bad, they don't even want to keep playing it. That's GG's, no cheese needed. This is Senior Michael, he's so old he's turned to boob armor to hold himself together. We get a 4-lander, with our combination of Factory and Helm with an instant synthesizer. This is so good. We'll be able to kick some mass. Keep your pants on. The first play of the game goes to them with a Terminus. We get to 3 mana, and this turn belongs to our Factory outlet. Get in there. On top, we have a land and a meditation. We've already got 5 mana, so we'll send the land on down. We'll keep the meditation. They hit us with a Soul Search. They'll be able to hit one of our 3 steps ahead and get a token. And they do just that. But what they probably should have done was take the Helm. The follow-up with May's Mind Tome. Maybe it's just me, but this isn't looking too threatening yet. They go with an Elspeth. That's plenty of token men and plenty of blockers.
More heroes for the cause.
We hit 5 mana and we'll go with our Helm. Brace yourself, bro. The Robot Overlords are coming. On top, we have a Negate and another Meditation. We've got the Meditation. All we need now is time, and our robots will apply boots to rear ends. They play out a cat moose, but it's far from being able to do anything for them.
Join the fight.
They don't even send in their token flyer. What's up with that? It's the end of their turn, and we'll make another factory outlet. We're working hard to slash prices and save you some of your hard-earned cash, bro. On top, we have a swamp under the Negate. We'll ship it on down. Let's send it. At this size, they will have to block at least 2. We'll shrink their team down a bit at least. On top, we have a Negate and a Wickerfolk. We have a Negate already, but maybe a second one, cold, easily put the nail in the coffin. I can see them trying to fire off a sweeper. They send their tokens. It's a suicide run that usually indicates they have a sweeper. We'll block up. There's no point in taking any damages here. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. They make a pair of token men, but they're a full 4 blockers short. They follow up with a snare, but that won't save them now. No need to do anything. Let's just get in there for hits. They realize they're toast, no jam. GG's. Extra Robot Overlord cheese. This is the legend of Linky. No, wait, it's Link XIX. Well, we can't all have cool names. We get a 3-lander with a pair of our key cards. We're missing black mana, but we could find some with our factory. Keep. They play out an authority. It's ended up everywhere all of a sudden. We draw a swamp and we'll play out our Wickerfolk. On top, we have a 3 steps ahead and a consult. I do like them both, and we'll keep them in that order. They play out a clay-fired bricks. It's looking like we're in a mirror match, although they're on a Synthesizer. 3 mana, and it is time for our factory. On top, we have a helm under the consult. I like it. We'll keep both. They play out a Sawblades to take out our Wickerfolk. It's that big of a problem, apparently. Now that they've used a removal, let's go with our Terror. The freaky doll wants opponent flesh. Meat is back on the menu, boy. They play out a snare and use it to snag our factory. Our production lines will be out of commission, but we've got a pair of men on board still, and we can use what we have to protect them. We'll just get in for damages, then pass the turn. The go for another snare, but we'll slap it out of the air with our Negate. Not today, Satan. With the last 2 mana, we'll fire off our consult. Yes, that's another factory, but I think the Negate will be putting in more work for us. They go for a Star Cage, but that's where our Negate comes in and declines their offer. They follow up with another Authority, but we're fine with that. We get to 5 mana, and we'll play out the Helm. Even with a second Authority, we might have them here. Let's make a copy of our first Robot Overlord. We'll get a map token as well, which will trigger the Terror and cancel out their life gain. And that is indeed lethality on board. Let's get in there, that's going to be GG's, extra drain cheese. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.